In the heart of a small, forgotten town stood a cemetery, its crumbling gravestones marking the passage of time like silent sentinels. Daniel, a young man with a troubled past, found himself drawn to this place, seeking solace among the dead. It was a foggy evening when Daniel wandered into the cemetery, the mist swirling around him like ghostly fingers. He felt an inexplicable pull, as if the souls of the departed were calling out to him. Ignoring the unease that gnawed at his insides, he pressed on, his footsteps echoing eerily in the quiet. As he walked among the graves, Daniel's eyes fell upon a particularly weathered tombstone. Intrigued, he knelt down to read the inscription, his fingers tracing the letters worn smooth by time. "Here lies Emily Gray, beloved daughter," it read, followed by a date that sent a chill down Daniel's spine. Emily Gray had been dead for over a century, yet something about her grave felt strangely alive. Unable to shake the feeling of being watched, Daniel rose to his feet, only to find himself face to face with a figure cloaked in shadow. "Who are you?" Daniel demanded, his heart hammering in his chest. The figure said nothing, its eyes gleaming with a faint, otherworldly light. Without warning, it vanished into the mist, leaving Daniel alone in the cemetery once more. Shaken but determined to uncover the truth, he vowed to return. Days turned into weeks, and Daniel's obsession with the cemetery grew. He spent every spare moment poring over old records and dusty archives, searching for any trace of Emily Gray and the mysterious figure he had encountered. One night, as Daniel wandered among the graves, he heard a soft whisper on the wind. "Help me," it pleaded, sending shivers down his spine. Following the sound, he stumbled upon an unmarked grave hidden beneath a tangle of weeds. With trembling hands, Daniel began to clear away the overgrowth, revealing a name etched into the crumbling headstone, Emily Gray. But as he knelt beside the grave, a cold hand clamped down on his shoulder, freezing him in place. "Leave this place," a voice hissed in his ear, its icy breath sending a chill down Daniel's spine. "You do not belong here." Refusing to be deterred, Daniel shook off the grip and continued to dig, uncovering a hidden chamber buried beneath the earth. Inside, he found a coffin adorned with strange symbols, its lid sealed shut with heavy chains. With a sense of dread, Daniel realized that Emily Gray's restless spirit was trapped within, longing to be set free. But as he reached for the chains, a sudden darkness descended upon the cemetery, swallowing him whole. When Daniel awoke, he found himself lying among the graves, the chains broken and the coffin empty. But as he looked around, he realized that he was no longer alone. The figures of the dead rose from their graves, their eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. With a sinking heart, Daniel realized that he had unleashed something far more sinister than he could have ever imagined. And as the spirits closed in around him, he knew that he would never escape the cemetery alive. Desperation clawed at Daniel's chest as the spirits closed in around him, their ethereal forms swirling with malice. With every step he took, the ground seemed to pull him back, as if the cemetery itself sought to claim him. But Daniel refused to surrender to the darkness. With a newfound resolve, he called upon every ounce of strength within him, pushing back against the encroaching spirits with all his might. With each step, he felt the weight of their presence bearing down upon him, threatening to crush him under its relentless force. As he fought to break free from the grasp of the cemetery, Daniel's mind raced, searching for a way to banish the spirits and put an end to the terror that had been unleashed. And then, in a flash of clarity, he remembered the symbols carved into Emily Gray's coffin. With trembling hands, Daniel began to trace the ancient symbols in the air, speaking words of power that he had long forgotten. As he spoke, the air crackled with energy, and the spirits recoiled, their ghostly forms writhing in agony. But just as Daniel thought he had gained the upper hand, a voice echoed in the darkness, cold and malevolent. "You cannot stop us," it whispered, sending a chill down his spine. "We are eternal." With a sinking heart, Daniel realized that he was facing something far more powerful than he had ever imagined. But he refused to give up hope. With every ounce of determination he possessed, he continued to chant the ancient words, his voice growing stronger with each passing moment. And then, in a blinding flash of light, the darkness shattered, dispersing the spirits like leaves in the wind. As the last echoes of their cries faded into the night, Daniel collapsed to the ground, spent and weary but victorious. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Daniel knew that the nightmare was finally over. And though the memory of the cemetery would haunt him for the rest of his days, he also knew that he had faced his fears and emerged stronger for it. With a sense of peace settling over him, Daniel rose to his feet and made his way out of the cemetery, leaving behind the darkness that had once threatened to consume him. And as he walked away, he vowed to never again let fear hold him captive, for he had proven that even in the darkest of places, hope could still shine bright. As Daniel emerged from the cemetery, the first rays of dawn cast a warm glow over the horizon, banishing the shadows that had haunted him for so long. With each step he took, he felt a weight lift from his shoulders. The burden of the past finally lifted. But as he walked away from the graveyard, Daniel knew that his journey was far from over. The memories of what had transpired would linger, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beneath the surface of the world. Yet, despite the horrors he had faced, Daniel also felt a sense of peace settling over him. For in confronting the darkness within himself, he had discovered a strength he never knew he possessed. And though the scars would remain, they served as a testament to his resilience. As he looked back at the cemetery one last time, Daniel made a silent vow to never forget the lessons he had learned. For in the end, it was not the fear of death that defined him, but the courage to face it head-on and emerge victorious. With a final nod to the graveyard that had nearly claimed him, Daniel turned his back on the past and stepped into the light of a new day. And as he walked away, he knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he would face them with courage and determination, for he had conquered the darkness within and emerged stronger for it.